Good morning, everybody. I'm Specialist Edwards, and today we will be going over how to identify topographic symbols on a military map. Overall risk assessment's low. We are in an indoor environment. All the tripping hazards have been removed from the area. Furniture's been pushed back. Just be aware of your surroundings. Ensure that nothing's around you that can hazard you or your buddy. If you see somebody doing something they shouldn't be doing, inform them that they probably shouldn't be doing that. If there's a case of fire, we will exit to the rear here, and we will go across the road until local authorities are here to assist with the fire. If there's tornadoes or anything like that, we'll go to the closest room that has no windows, and we'll hunker down and ride it out. Other than that, let's begin. The conditions of this: you are a member of a squad or team in a field environment and have been given a 1 in 50,000 scale military map and a requirement to identify topographic symbols on the map. The standards are to identify the basic colors, topographic symbols, and marginal information on a military map. There's no special condition, no special standards. Like I said about the safety risk, it's low because we're inside. Other than that, so the 6 basic colors are black, blue, brown, green, red, and red-brown. It's all listed on the map here. You'll see it as you look in front of it. For example, blue is lakes, creeks, rivers, ponds, drainage. Brown is going to be reliefs or cultivated areas. Black is going to be any man-made feature, such as railroads, even buildings and houses can be black on the map. Green is going to be vegetation, so keep that in mind, such as like woods, trees, orchards, vineyards, anything like that. Red is going to be main roads. So there's a few here on the map, and they're going to be main roads. Black also can mean railroads too. Then we have red-brown, which is going to be under like a light-sensitive ordeal. The main roads will be red-brown, so that's like a red light sensitive. These roads will be red-brown. Let's see. I do have a couple different things on here. I do want to touch bases with you because we'll have a quick little 5-question assessment to ensure that you're paying attention and you actually know how to locate something on your map that's in front of you. So we have the Kitchafoonie Creek, which is the creek, of course. I have cultivated land around my house. My house is here. I have a few swamps and marsh areas around my house. Trees, of course, and the Flint River runs north-south here where I'm at, not far from me. I have a railroad that crosses right over the top of it, right here. Then it's located, it's black. So if you would, for your quick little assessment, it won't take 5 minutes, just make sure that you're understanding the basic colors and how to identify them and what they are. So if you would, write this down. What are the 2 bodies of water shown on this map? One's a creek, one's a river. How many man-made features do you see here? What color is vegetation? What color is going to be main roads on this map? And what color is going to be the houses or buildings on this map? Okay, it looks like you have a good understanding of this. Everybody, successfully is trained up on the colors part of this. So now we're going to be identifying symbols. Now I think I briefly already touched on it, but symbols are going to be: blue is going to be the river, creeks, ponds, marsh, anything like that. Swamps can be circles, blue circles or anything like that, but have green in them. That could be a swamp. Let's see. houses can be, or houses or buildings, any of that can be variants of colors. It can be red, black, yellow, or pink. Pink is going to pop up whenever you're using a red light sensitive. So then we got railroads that are black, and you'll find these down here on your legend. Okay, so I'm going to move on to identifying the marginal information on this map. So for one, we're going to identify the sheet name, and the sheet name is here, and it's random map. That's what I've named it. I don't have a military map to actually show you, so I made my own. I've named it random map. We're going to identify the sheet number, and the sheet number is made up also, so it's 4048. It's located up here in the top right corner of the map. Then we're going to identify the series name, which is located here, which is Leesburg. So that's where I'm at, Leesburg, Georgia. Identify the scale. Remember what I said, the scale is 1 in 50 thousandths. This scale can vary from a lot of different numbers. It can be 1 in 25,000, 1 in 5,000, all the way up to 1 in 1 millionth. Just depends. We're going to identify the series number. It's located here, and it is Victor 745. That is the series number. And we're going to locate the edition number. It is 7 November India Mike Alpha. That is what I have for the edition. We're going to identify the index of boundaries, which is located here. And that's going to come out to be, let's see, it's just in the lower right corner here. That's where your boundaries are going to be located. Adjoining sheets diagram, that's going to be there, and it contains normally 9 rectangles. You'll see it'll stand out. It'll have 9 different rectangles in a square. You'll notice it when I'm talking about. And most of the time that's using either a zoomed in or zoomed out type scale. It just depends. Down here we're going to have the elevation guide. So elevation guide is going to be a zoomed out version of this map. So you'll still see everything on this map, but it's going to be real, real small, so you can't hardly see it. But that also lets you know how high above sea level or below sea level you are. Like that's your elevation. You'll see it, and it'll be located here. And that's from this exact area is where you'll find the elevation. The declination diagram will be down here. We're going to find the bar scales. There's a bunch of different ways to track the distance between grid squares. For me, I've used meters, miles, and nautical miles. So stating here that this bar represents, in between grid squares, excuse me, is 10 meters. Or it can also equal 2 miles, or it can also equal 1 nautical mile. Just depends on how you're using it. Nautical miles is water. You want to use the miles, which is not very, you don't really use it that much unless you're in a car. Or kilometers, as if you're in a car or vehicle. Meters, normally you're on foot and you're trying to get from here to there. And normally that's how you judge using meters. Excuse me. Then we're going to identify the contour interval note. And that is the vertical line, or the vertical distance between lines. So it's just the up and down distance. Here we have the spheroid note, also located in the same general area here. We have the spheroid note, which is number 13. Number 14 is grid note. Number 15 is projection note. 16 is vertical datum note. 17 is horizontal datum note. 18 is the control note. 19 is the preparation note. And then 20 is the printing note. They're all located here in the center of your legend. On this map, there's 2 different kind of legends, and I'll touch bases on that in just a minute. And we're going to find the grid reference box. It's the instructions for composing grid reference. It's all here. Then we're going to identify the unit imprint and symbols. So we're going to use that. That's the agency that prepared it here, and their symbol. Then we're going to identify the legend. Like I said just a second ago, this one has two legends. You have a military version, or you have just a normal civilian. Just depends on how you're looking at it. Me, I'm using this as a military version. So there's two different types of legends, and they're both located down here. So using the notes that you've taken or the information that I've given you over all of this, we're going to have a short assessment at the end of this class, and just to make sure everybody has a good understanding and feels good and warm and fuzzy about all this information that I've given. So with that being said, please take out the red pen that I've put on your desk, the piece of paper, and the pencil. The red pen is only for grading purposes only. That is it. So please use your pencil and your piece of paper and listen to the following questions. What are the six basic colors on the military map? Please write that down. Number 2, what are the symbols used on a military map, on this military map? They're all down there. You have a map in front of you. Use it to your advantage. Then we're going to find the 23 different versions of the marginal information on this map. Okay. Get out your red pens. We're going to grade this. So number 1, the 6 basic colors. You should have black, blue, brown, green, red, red, brown. Doesn't matter the order, but as long as you have that, I'll accept it. Number 2, we're going to identify the symbols used on this map. And that was main roads, railroads, we have water, houses, swamps, reliefs or cultivation, vegetation. That's what you should have. It doesn't matter the order, as long as you have it. If you don't have it, please put a red mark beside it. If you miss one, you miss the whole question, because I asked you to identify all symbols. Then we're going to identify the 23 different pieces of marginal information. You should have identify the sheet name, sheet number, series name, scale, the series number, addition number, index to boundaries, adjoining sheets diagram, elevation guide, declination program, or diagram, Identify the bar scales, contour interval note, spheroid note, grid note, projection note, vertical datum note, horizontal datum note, control note, preparation note, printing note, the grid reference box, and the unit imprint and symbol, and lastly, the legend. If you have all that, you get 100. If not, pass your papers forward. Let me check everything and remain seated, please. Okay, I reviewed everybody, and looks to me like everybody has made a go in this area. So that means we are 100% trained on identifying topographic symbols and graphics on a military map. At this time, if you would please pass your maps to the far table to the right, pass the pencils and the pens and the protractors all down there. I should have 10 of each. I will be checking. Okay, I verified we have all 10 of each on this table. At this time, I will be conducting an AAR. If you have any questions about identifying topographic symbols on the military map, or anything about what we just went over, please, raise your hand and I will call on you. I feel like we met the commander's intent on what he wanted us to do. He wanted the new soldiers and also soldiers who've been in to be trained and refreshed on how to identify topographic symbols and graphics on the military map. Everything, I feel like we did everything to his standard. If you have any questions, like I said, please let me know. We've remained in a low risk environment. The risk assessment is still low. It will be low. as you leave, please be aware of your surroundings and your buddy's surroundings that you're with. Please push all chairs in under the table and police up your area. Excuse me. Ensure that everything's cleaned up so there's no risk of anybody getting hurt. Before you leave, please just remain seated. I'm going to walk around, check everything, make sure everything's cleaned up, put up, so that we can move on to the next training event. Okay, it looks like to me everybody's cleaned up, policed up everything. So if you would, please stand up and push your chairs in under your desk or your table. And that conducts my class over identifying topographic symbols on a military map. Thank y'all.